Happy Monday, friends. We hope here at the Adoption Connection that you had a safe and generally uneventful 4th of July weekend. So tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much patience do you typically have? 1 means you're completely depleted and you wake up annoyed at your kids even though they actually haven't done anything wrong that day. And 10 means you're a saint. You have all the patience in the world. If we haven't met yet, I'm Melissa Corkum, an adoptee, post-adoption support specialist, and co-founder here at the Adoption Connection. Today, I'm bringing you brain-based solutions so that you can laugh more and yell less. If you are watching the replay of this video on Instagram TV or YouTube or our blog, we invite you to join our conversation this week about increasing patience at theadoptionconnection.com/Facebook. That's also a great place to just ask questions, have community, and contribute to whatever conversation we're having this week if you catch this a little bit later. So I started off as a fairly patient mom, but with each additional child we added to our family, my patience decreased. By the time we had 6 kids, 4 of them had come to us through adoption and had complex trauma and high needs. My husband was telling me I was the meanest person he knew. And I knew something needed to change. I wanted to be more patient, and I would promise myself each night, Melissa, tomorrow's going to be different. Tomorrow will be a better day. But then tomorrow never really was. And so it turns out that I was appealing to the wrong part of my brain. If you've been around for a while, you know that I love brain science. So just a quick review. The lower part of your brain includes the part that manages your emotions and logic and happens, and the logic part, the thinking part, happens up here in our prefrontal cortex, or sometimes we call it the upstairs brain. So I have been thinking a lot about patience and knew in my thinking brain I needed more of it. But that wasn't helping my downstairs brain that didn't feel any more patient each morning. And my downstairs brain was the part that was reacting to everything that was going on in life, all the high needs, the stresses, and that is what was making me lose my cool. So recently, in the past, year or so, I've started caring for the downstairs part of my brain. Actually, I forget about COVID. It's probably been like 2 years. So I started caring for the downstairs part of my brain. And I noticed that my window of tolerance increased along with the amount of patience I had. My window of tolerance was growing wider. And I was able to respond to my kids instead of just react. So you might be wondering, so Melissa, how exactly do I care for my downstairs brain? Okay, so 3 different things made the difference. 1 was movement. And I've mentioned before, we've talked about it on the podcast, that repetition plus rhythm plus relationship equals regulation, all the R's. And that's true for ourselves. So we need to be engaging our body in repetitive rhythmic movement, even more of a plus if we can do it in a safe relationship. So do it with a friend, do it in a group, do it with your spouse, maybe even do it with your kids. The second thing was therapeutic listening via something called the Safe and Sound Protocol. And this protocol uses specially filtered music to send cues of safety to our nervous system, and it creates permanent shifts in how our nervous system experiences the world. It helps us as parents feel less irritable and overwhelmed. It can help our kids have better social skills and better regulation skills. It helps us think more clearly, and it helps us connect more deeply because it helps our nervous system get back to that place of homeostasis where it's what polyvagal theory calls social engagement, where it's vulnerable and open to connection. So movement, safe and sound listening, and third, aromatherapy. Our sense of smell gives us direct access to the limbic system. Biochemistry tells us what smells will also send cues of regulation to our nervous system and help change and shift our brain chemistry to a more homeostatic, regulated, balanced state. And psychology tells us that we can also anchor a specific scent to the safe and grounded state provided by therapeutic listening. So I've been doing it all. Sometimes I'll do all three at once, right? I'll be on a walk after I've inhaled a couple breaths of my favorite anchor oil, and I'll have safe and sound in my ears. And so as I have woven these practices into my daily routine, I have started to find my way back to the mom, to the person I wanted to be. I've even had the mental space to start to think about going back to things like Taekwondo and pick up hobbies that I had dropped. So here at the Adoption Connection, we want these tools to be available to you guys too. So one of the services we now offer is a program called the Regulation Rescue. This is a 60-day intensive for exhausted parents who want to regain their patience and increase their confidence for parenting kids with challenging behaviors. It's really like a whole family makeover. It includes safe and sound, both for you and for your kids, and an entire training system that will help you care for your family and parent in a polyvagal informed way that's designed to increase felt safety for you and your children and increase regulation for everyone from the bottom up. So go ahead and comment "rescue us" if you need more information or you'd like to attend an upcoming information session. You can also go right here to this link, theadoptionconnection.com/regulation, theadoptionconnection.com/rescue. And then, as always, if you'd like to join the conversation, we'd love to have you in our community, theadoptionconnection.com/Facebook. Until next time, we want you to know that you are a good parent doing good work.